Outland Models, who you will find both on eBay and on AliExpress, do a range of contemporary looking buildings across a range of scales, and sometimes it may not be clear whether these buildings will work scale wise on your 00 gauge layout. For today I'm going to look at one of their HO 1:87 scale structures that has already appeared in a number of my running sessions videos at the end of last year. Modestly priced at between £14 to £16, this multi-storey structure ticks the boxes in terms of urban look, and hence I was keen to check it out. The question then is whether a HO scale building works as a foreground model on a 00 gauge layout or not. The general answer is yes, it will, and the only time it might not work is if you position something 00 gauge beside it that gives away the fact that the structure is a little bit smaller, scale-wise. In general, it's not a problem though. So let's take a look at this 00 gauge model out of the box and see what we've got. Okay, so I've got this box from Outland Models, which I purchased actually from eBay. So we'll take a look and see what's inside the box. So I've got their little catalogue of models, and I have purchased a few of these in the past, and you'll have seen a few of them on the layout. There's kind of some interesting ones in there. This looks like a kind of a very US focused, I suppose it is. These are HO scale, or that's what they come out as. So let's just see what we've got. So it's packed up, some foam around it, and we've got the plastic pieces in here. So we'll just get a scissors and open this up. Okay, I've just cut this open here, so we'll take out the parts for our building. The plastic is the usual kind of quality I guess I'm used to. So it has a kind of the inside is a kind of a shinier, the outside walls are textured, which is kind of what you want. So that would be the ground floor. They'll give you a base to the building, which I assume that is. And they've probably got a middle floor, I would say. And that's probably one of the middle floors to allow you to bring wiring through, and that's probably the top. Yeah, you can see the little pieces here. So these are very easy to construct. There's no glue or anything involved in putting them together, and even though it's a HO scale, I find these actually work quite well. You'll have seen them on the layout. This one is a 3 and a ground floor, so 6 plus a ground floor. So that gives you kind of good height, good dimension on your layout, and I kind of like to have that. If you're going to have a modern image layout, I think these are good. You just have to connect the various pieces together, and these look identical actually. The base parts look absolutely identical, so which doesn't the base in the middle, and then this is the upper piece. So these are the sides of the building, and again they're just replicated, so they're the exact same piece on either side, whereas the front piece, there's a definite front piece and rear piece, so they are different, but these are identical for either end. So that's as you'd kind of expect, I guess. And they're not low profile, so there is a reasonable profile on these, which hopefully will work for you. Now the only thing when I look at the bottom here, so looks like we've actually got some see-through material that we can use for the windows, and this has got it's got a cover on it as well, so it's protected. So this will give us our glazing. Now I hadn't seen this advertised, so I guess there will hopefully be enough for both the sides and the main part. It's not going to work that way, so it's going to have to go lengthways. There are 2 sheets, so it does look like it's going to be a little bit tight for this section here. I guess you're going to have to pull off some surplus. There will be some surplus from the top, so it's probably just enough to do the whole thing, and it'll give you that kind of blue tinted glass type effect. So I haven't had this on the previous models I've got from Outland Models, So it'll be interesting to actually check that out and see what that looks like. And obviously when you put some, I haven't put lights into them yet either, but this is actually good because I am looking to add glazing to the other ones that I have on the layout. There's no glazing on them at the moment, and it just doesn't look very realistic. So that's it. These are pretty simple models. They're very simple to put together. Obviously the glazing is going to add a little bit more, so I'll probably be using a bit of glue to put that on. But they work well. I've been pleased with them, and I'm kind of happy enough with this. So it's really going to be down to just see what this looks like when I put it together, and we'll take some photos of that and give a kind of rating on these. They're very light, obviously, so it's not like getting the other sorts of parts that you'd get from Bachmann or something like that, which are resin based and very heavy. So these models, when they're put together, they're very light, and you can take them apart again, unless you choose to glue them, which I don't usually do. I usually just use the dry joints on them, and they do sit together very well. And then if you need to disassemble them, you can do that. So that's it. A nice offering from Outland Models. If you're into particularly modern image, I think they suit. They are HO scale, but they fit in absolutely fine. You really wouldn't notice the difference. It's a material. These are effectively HO/O scale, so don't have any qualms on that side. And if you can get designs of buildings that suit your layout, well and good, go for it.
You can see here how the structure comes together. More will be needed if you wish to add lighting, but you can see the hole in the floors to facilitate running the required wiring up through the building. Again, the addition of lighting is a topic for another day. So here we have the completed structure. It's physically large and it's modern looking. Despite its relative simplicity, I believe it hits the mark. There's nothing to stop you from creating two low profile structures for this particular structure given its symmetry, though you will have to cut the side pieces. And here we can see it on the layout, seamlessly integrated with some other Outland models I purchased a few years ago. In the context of an Era 11 urban environment, I was pleased with the end result of this model, even more than some of the earlier Outland models that I have. In addition to lighting, some lightweight weathering could also be added, if for no other reason but to get rid of the plasticky look, even if there is some texturing on the plastic that you get out of the box. Also, you can see that there is no issue from a scale perspective. This model looks at home on this layout. These Outland models are very simple structures out of the box, and hence a very low cost. For some modelers, they could represent a blank slate for some significant customization and creativity. When attempting to model the urban Era 11 environment, scale and height in particular are important, and you'll notice that in certain areas of my layout, I like to have a layering effect to keep things looking interesting. Taller models like this are essential if you want to do this, giving your layout depth and scale. Buildings like these won't be for every modeler, but they're low cost and low effort in their basic form, while delivering relatively large structures, a number of which can quickly create the image of a built-up urban environment. Do shop around, as I've seen these models selling for over £20, but they are still available at the time of publication in the £14 to £16 range. As I mentioned, I do have other Outland models of an even taller structure that is rated at 1 to 100 scale, which I believe will fit in just fine based on its actual dimensions. I'll be covering that in a few weeks' time, so please join me for that video as well. So what are your thoughts on these low-cost, low-detail models from China? Will they work for you? And if not, how would you like to see them improve in the future? As always, let us know your thoughts in the comments. So that's it for today's review. Hope to see you on the next one. And in the meantime, take care and happy modeling.